Yes, it's your girl Paige, back at it again with yet another video for you hoes. Right, I am trying something a little bit different with my setup because I wanted to get my camera to focus because I filmed a whole ass video for you guys yesterday and it wasn't even in focus. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm in focus on here. I've got my autofocus on so that I'm in focus when I'm all the way back here and I'm in focus. Get it together, sis. When I'm all the way up here. Yes, we're working. So I've got separate sound. So hopefully the sound is working. Otherwise you're going to be hearing the click clack of my autofocus, or I've tried to minimize it as best as I can in post edit. I'm talking way too much about the technical side of YouTube that people may not understand. So let me just get straight into the drama, honey, into the drama. Anyway, today we have a full cup episode for you guys because that's what you requested, that's what you wanted to see more of. You wanted to see more of the full cup, and I personally love bringing it over to you. So, because this is the full cup, I encourage you to go and get your cups and sip along with me. What am I sipping? I hear you hark in the distance. Well, I'm sipping some tea. Some tea made by me. Yes, that's right. This is like the first time I'm going to be announcing this, but I'm in the works with an amazing tea company that I will withhold their name from this promotion at this very moment until everything is finished and finalized. But I am currently working on formulating my own tea. This is an iced fruity tea that I've got going on here. It tastes so nice, so delicious. I'm kind of like profiling tastes and what I like and what I don't like. So I'm trying everything out, and hopefully you guys will be able to buy Petty Paige tea. Like, what? We will be able to sip our tea together because in Britain we don't spill tea, we drink it. Yes, God. So this right here is a very berry iced tea. I've never really been into berry flavors. Whenever I go for like a green tea or whatever, I always love like my peppermint and all that kind of stuff. But I'm interested to know what kind of teas it is that you guys enjoy, because if you guys tell me what you want to see from this tea line, from this tea range, we can try our best to make it happen. And then there's something for everybody. I mean, if there's something for everybody that works for you guys so that you guys can buy what you enjoy, and if there's something for everybody then that also works for me and helps line my pockets, let's not miss the key objective here. Anyway, all of this will be coming out very, very soon. I'm hoping before Christmas time. We're even designing packaging and like, sis, it's all coming together. Like, let's give a Hail Mary over to Sick Varesco for making all this shit happen to get things popping for Petty Paige, because Lord knows I need the help, sis. Anyway, tell me what it is that you guys enjoy when it comes to tea. What is your favorite kind of tea blend? What flavors do you enjoy? Leave all of that in the comment section down below, and I'll be reviewing, tasting, and profiling all of these different flavors, and hopefully we can come up with a really dope tea line before Christmas. Fingers crossed. Anyway, with that being said, let's get straight into today's drama. We are going to be doing the full cup. The full cup this week consists of several different characters. So as per usual, I'm going to be giving you the timestamps so that you guys can skip to the part that you actually want to see. So to begin with, we're going to be talking about James Charles and his brand new palette with Morphe and all of the drama surrounding that. Next up, we are going to be speaking about Nikita Dragun and how apparently her Dragon Beauty pop-up shop launch was a flop, according to some. Next up after that, we're going to be talking about the owner of Juvia's place finding herself in a little bit of controversy with a drama channel. Then shortly after that, we will be talking about the Ingham family and some more drama surrounding them. Most of it pertaining to Jane Ingham, who is Chris Ingham's mother. I know, sis, it gets juicy. And then finally, we will be ending on Lilly Singh and her new late night talk show that is absolutely bombing, and why she's getting all up in her feelings on the internet once again. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's drama after this full cup intro. See you in a minute, bitch.
Petty. Most of these bitches is petty.
Okay, so the first story that we are going to be tackling today is to do with James Charles and his most recent launch with Morphe. It left a lot of people disappointed. Hold up. Ugh. Okay, Okay, since we're talking about makeup, you guys are forever asking me what is on my lips, so let's just get that out of the way. We've got Gerard Cosmetics Supreme Lip Cream, and this is in colour Man Eater. It's just a gloss. It's super duper pigmented. Jen is just a friend of mine and just a dear colleague that I really respect, so I'm not getting any commission, I'm not getting any payout from that, but if you use code PettyPaige, you can get a percentage off. I don't know what percentage it is. I think it's 15, could be 20, who knows. Try it at checkout and find out what happens, okay, sis? So basically, the whole entire situation popped off with James Charles on social media because he ended up releasing a miniature version of his already acclaimed palette with Morphe. So on November 2nd, 2018, James Charles released his James Charles times Morphe Artistry palette. That shit sold out. It took me forever to get my hands on it over here in the UK, and it was extremely well received at the time. What's happened is on October 12th, 2019, James Charles then did a reveal for his next collaboration with Morphe. Everybody had high hopes of what they were expecting from this new launch, but what it ended up being was just a miniature version of the palette that he'd already had on shelves. His palette was essentially exactly the same as the old one, but except this one has a mirror with it, and it comes with a smaller brush set. Wow. Inventive. Anyway, the collection was set to launch on October 17th, and a lot of people were just pretty much just disappointed with the whole entire thing. Here's what the general public had to say about the new launch. I don't know why we're calling it a launch. We're not launching anything new. Anyway, James claims that his palette is the only palette that you need in a kit, and that's why he didn't make a new palette. I mean, with that kind of logic, he's kind of cancelled himself out, because I'm just kind of like, James, if your palette is the only one that anyone needs in their kit, I'm assuming we should not see any more colours from you since you invented the rainbow, sir. Like, that's it. No more palettes from James Charles. We got everything we need, guys. Pack it up. Let's pack it up. We're pretty much done here. I mean, we're pretty much done here. Anyway, James Charles said, I appreciate your support. I didn't want to make another palette after claiming my original palette was the only one you needed in your kit. You don't have to purchase the new one if you love the original. Then somebody else said, so are you going to do this every time Shane's finna upload? James Charles said, this announcement has been planned months in advance, and I've also been uploading every Friday for the past 3 years. Can you let me enjoy my day, or are you that desperate to try and start drama? Okay, so let's get into the Shane Dawson video. Shane Dawson's video, the $20 million deal with Jeffree Star, showcases a conversation that I think is really important to this entire story. So Shane and Jeffree are on a phone call with Morphe where they discuss the release date of Shane's makeup, which was set to be on the 1st of November 2019. And Morphe basically stated that they felt as if this could be an issue because it kind of collided with the dates for James Charles's anniversary release. But they hadn't finalized or formulated an idea as to what it was that James was going to be releasing at the time.
I'm also curious, how does it work as far as like other things coming out around the same time? Is that something that's a concern? Like, is there other people, other YouTubers putting out stuff? Maybe that's good, maybe that's bad.
You know, I think the challenge is to be that there will likely be an anniversary of the James Charles house that we launched last November, so that was the reason, frankly, I asked. We haven't clarified the exact timing. Likely be another activation. We don't have the timing on it or even what it is, but there would likely be something. So on our end, we'll need to figure out exactly what that is and follow up with you, but I just want to be really transparent about the timing.
So the question everybody had in their minds was that essentially James Charles's palette was pretty much moved and pushed forward, and this was a very rushed job because all of the focus from Morphe is now on Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star's collaboration. They're not really concerned with him that much, hence why his palette was just a smaller palette and a smaller set, because it was a massive cash grab. I don't know how true that is, I don't know how to feel, but all I know is that I've had the James Charles Artistry palette, and I swear to God, I haven't even swatched that bitch because I really wanted to get it. I really wanted to support him, and then I don't know, it's just like vomit, like ugh, like every single time I'm like, I don't even want to open it. Like, I should do a giveaway with it because I haven't even touched it. Like, I haven't even put my finger in it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't support the kid. And I bought it because I'm an impulse buyer and I buy makeup impulsively because I have a problem that needs to be stopped. anyway, that is about it for that drama. Tell me what you think in the comment section down below. Let's move on to the second drama of the day, which is Nikita Dragun and her Dragon Beauty makeup launch. This one is weird. Right, okay, so Nikita Dragun drama is just a bit of a strange one to me because Nikita Dragun has found herself in a bit of controversy surrounding the new launch of her pop-up shop in the Beverly Center. So basically, she had a pop-up shop at the Beverly Center and a lot of people were really confused because Nikita Dragun only has 3 products with Dragon Beauty. Now, usually when you see pop-up shops such as, I don't know, James Charles's Sister Apparel, Jeffree Star going over to a Morphe store, or Kylie Cosmetics, like they have a vast amount of products to sell people, a plethora of products. So it seemed weird that a brand with only 3 items was hosting a pop-up store in the Beverly Center. The first controversy that happened was a photoshopped photograph. She basically did a photo and posted it on the Instagram, and the photo was a photo of her and her mother, and it was supposed to be a kind of, yes, we made it out the hood, sis moment with her mother, and a lot of people noticed that the photograph just looked a little bit strange. There was something odd about the photograph. So I'm going to post the photograph up on the screen right now so you guys can see it. On the right hand side of your screen right now, you should be able to see the Dragon Beauty advertisement on the screen above her and her mother. Now, if you look in the Windows reflection on the left-hand side, you can see that actually nobody was promoting Dragon Beauty on the screens at that present moment. So she photoshopped, or somebody in her team photoshopped that there to make it look like that was the case, like that place was being promoted like that in the Beverly Center when that really wasn't the case. So she got called out on it, and as per usual, when it comes to Nikita Dragun, she doesn't take ownership of anything. No matter what it is that happens to her, it's like she could give a F. I don't know why y'all gagging, she brings it to you every ball. So that kind of left the sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. And then eventually came the day when her store opening was happening and it was the launch. You know what she's like, she came through stunting, and don't get me wrong, Nikita Dragun has all that body yaddy yaddy. If you got it, flaunt it, honey. She looked amazing. I will never take that away from her. The girl is stunning. However, a lot of people noticed that there really wasn't that many people at the Beverly Center launch. It seemed as if her entourage was actually bigger than the crowd that was waiting for her outside of the store. Take a look at these clips that was found by Shook, the drama channel, and I'll give you my thoughts shortly after. Okay, sis, like, where was the people? But did you get the likes? But did you get the engagement, honey? Like, it just goes to show that regardless of how big you are, regardless of how big your name is, like, when you are doing something of that nature, especially when it comes to selling products, like, you have to have more behind you. Like, just your name alone isn't enough. You know what I mean? Like, hey, a lot of people were out here saying it was a flop. Nikita Dragun's pop-up shop was a flop. And I don't necessarily think it's a flop. I kind of feel as if you have a platform and anybody decides to show up for you, like if you could formulate a congregation, and a congregation constitutes of 50 plus people, like you really got it like that, sis. Like 50 people is great. 2 people is great. Like, people who support you is great. But just if you're gonna aim big and do a pop-up shop, you better make it worth your while, because I can't see her making any profit from that, not from the crowd that I've seen. It feels as if that she's going to be in some sort of a deficit. Like, sis really didn't need those bodyguards, because, I mean, who was there to attack? No, never mind, sis, never mind. Anyway, after all of the backlash that she's received on social media, where people are calling her out and saying this is a massive flop, etc, etc, she took to Instagram and basically said, yes, I opened up in the Beverly Center and I'm finna go to more locations. Haters can hate. Where do you want to see me next? Girl, I want to see you on YouTube making videos on a regular basis. I want to see you producing content. That's what I want to see you doing. I don't understand how Nikita Dragun even constitutes as a beauty guru at this point, because I'm like, when's the last time that she's like, I don't see her like that. She's an Instagram girl. She's not a YouTuber like that. Maybe more people would have come to this pop-up shop if she had a better relationship with her fans. It seems as if there's a very much like an elitism kind of hierarchy, like I'm up here and you're down here, when it comes to Nikita Dragun's relationship with her fans. Like, I don't see her interacting with them like that. But maybe if she made herself more approachable, maybe if she made herself that person that they felt like they could talk to on a one-on-one level, instead of this whole on social media, maybe she would have a stronger core base following. That's just my 2 cents. I don't know. I'm not nobody's social media manager or anything like that, but that's just what I can see from the outset. Speaking of meet and greets, if you didn't know, I will be in Texas in literally like less than a week. I'm going to be there from the 31st, Halloween, yes bitch, right the way through to the 4th. I am doing a meet and greet. I'm doing a meet and greet at Teresa Roma's house. I will be there with Nick Snyder, Rich Lux, Pop Lux, Teresa Roma, and then yours truly. I'm really excited. I've never done a meet and greet before, so I'm really excited to see you guys. If you would like to purchase tickets, I will leave the link at the top of the description box down below. I think tickets are $75 and it goes to a charity that's to do with human trafficking, and we're against that, sis. Like, no trafficking in general. Don't be stealing humans. But seriously, this meet and greet all goes to charity, and Teresa Roma always makes that stuff poppin'. So I'm really excited to go. I'm really excited to meet you guys, and I'm really excited to step on US soil for the first time. Like, ah! Anyway, let's get into the next little bit of tea, bitch. Okay, sis, so the next piece of tea that we are going to be sipping down together is to do with Juvia's Place and a drama channel, Here for the Tea, going at it on social media once again. It is no secret that Here for the Tea has an issue with the owner of Juvia's Place, but it all went off on social media the other day when a fan or a subscriber or whatever had sent Here for the Tea, the drama channel, a bunch of screenshots basically showing a member of staff at Juvia's Place responding really, let's call it what it is, gross towards a customer. Here for the Tea posted up about it on her Instagram, and then she left this caption. She goes, "Here we go again, Juvia's Place treating paying customers poorly. In this instance, the customer was inquiring about products that she had purchased but never received. She was given a tracking number which revealed that her order was in pre-shipment since October 7th. Now, we don't know if the customer service representative was the CEO of Juvia's, Chi-Chi. It certainly sounds like her, allegedly, / my opinion. The representative, quote unquote, proceeded to tell the customer that she needed that makeup to cover up you, sis. Juvia's ended up deleting this comment from their conversation, but the customer recorded the entire interaction. A small portion is included on slide 3. What do you guys think of the situation? Let me know below, #Juvia's Place." But the problem that I had wasn't that like Here for the Tea was talking about it, or did she decide to showcase this to her subscribers. She has every right to. That's her job. That's what she does as a drama channel, or as a drama Instagrammer. I don't know what she qualifies herself as now. The issue I took with it was the fact that she insinuated that it was the CEO of Juvia's that was behind these negative comments, when in honesty it's gonna be a representative, sis. Like, you can quote unquote that all you want, it's gonna be a representative. That page has over 2 million people following it. Do you think that the CEO is on their social media responding and replying to each and every single person who has a query? No, it's not. I wouldn't expect that Jeffree Star Cosmetics when I've got a query or whatever, and it's Jeffree Star going, "Hi and welcome back to my Instagram. I'm so sorry your shipment was lost." Like, no, it wasn't. It's not Jeffree. Jeffree isn't responding to you. It's a representative. And like, did this representative act incorrectly and so out of line? 120%. And although this public discretion has happened, like, I feel as if it should be handled by the owner. Instead of insinuating hate towards the owner, let's just say, "Hey guys, this is a bit of a shitty situation. You need to pack it up." I'm more than confident that this entire situation is going to be handled internally. In fact, when I reached out to Chi myself, she said that it's being handled and she does feel like it was incorrect. What she wasn't going to stand in her eyes was the constant bullying and harassment from Here for the Tea and her followers. So Chi responded with a bunch of things on Instagram, also exposing Here for the Tea's real name, which I don't really think is exposing, because Here for the Tea's real name has been floating around the internet for like a good couple of months now. I feel like everybody knows her name, but out of respect, I'm going to try and like blank it if it comes up in these messages. But this is what Chi-Chi's response to her was. She said, "Okay, excuse my ignorance. I don't follow society's standard for stupid positions that add zero value. The title CEO means absolutely nothing to me. Forgive me, people. My response to Samantha blank. Your details are everywhere on Twitter. It's public knowledge. It still baffles me how your identity must be protected, but others must suffer the horrors of your cyberbullying through your heavily skewed content. A beauty blogger turned into the beauty community gatekeeper who constantly turns black people against each other. Well, you better be Samantha's friend, because if not, you're dead and cancelled. She turns a blind eye to the woes of her inner circles, yet you do not say a word back. And if you do, oh Lord, you will suffer the anger of cancellation. She ignores proof from opposing sides, but yet she believes that she has the power and ability to destroy. I'm not afraid of you, lady. Yes, poor practices must be called out. Is there a fine line between a call out, constructive criticism, or straight up cyberbullying, aggravated by twisted stories to fit a sick narrative? Samantha, are you? I saw you tearing down another black brand weeks ago after the Juvias Place catastrophe in the summer. I've heard of you calling another black woman Peppa Pig. Hi, that's me. I want to believe that you are not racist, but you are indeed a bully. Will it take a event for this to end? Don't get me wrong now, Juvia's Place has issues, and lots of it, customer services being one of them, something that we would need to continue to work on. If you place an order and have not received it, please don't abuse us mercilessly. We are human beings, and then twist the story. Simply send us an email. We assure you that you will receive your products. Our customer service email is support@juviasplace.com. Support hours are Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. EST. Simply means if you send a request on a Saturday night, you will receive an update on Monday morning. Thank you. CEO, this CEO that hypocritical comments will disappear into space. Okay. I mean, I've always been a fan of Juvia's Place way before I even worked with them on any kind of collaboration. I have literally almost every palette that they have prior to even partnering with them in any kind of way, in any capacity. So for me, it's like a pleasure that this happened. Like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, people that I respect me back. That's dope. So if you're gonna sit there and say, Paige, you're biased because of this, that, and the other, that's fine. You can feel that way. I'm not here to convince you of nothing, but I am gonna speak my personal truth. My run-ins with Sam is nothing but negative. Every single time I encounter that woman, it's always some crap, some mess on the internet. When my husband launched his company, she literally did everything that she could do on the internet in order to destroy my husband's brand before it even started. Petty Paige has been hiding to you that she is the CEO of this company. I'm like, that's my husband's company, my husband's business, and like, I'm his wife. Of course we're part owners. It's his venture, but I'm riding and dying for my husband. Like, she has this obscene fascination with women of color doing great things, and I don't know what it is. The only woman of color that she supports that's doing great things, Jackie Aina, and for obvious reasons, because Jackie Aina hates me, and in turn hates Juvia's Place, and as long as the hate train can keep running, then she doesn't give a crap. Until that woman puts a single job into the stratosphere for a person of color, honestly, her opinion is null and void. Because by cancelling Juvia's place in the manner of which she is constantly trying to cancel that company, she's taking away jobs from a majority POC work environment. Like, these things don't exist. They don't exist. I'm literally the only black person at my own work. I work for an ambulance service, bitch. I am the only black person at my own work. So trust me when I say that the workplaces, especially when it comes to the makeup and beauty industry and all that kind of stuff, the makeup community is extremely dominated by Caucasians. That is just a fact. That's why it's taken us so long to even have companies want to expand their shade range. That's why it's been a hard ass grind. That's why people like your friend Jackie Aina had to work as hard as she could for her voice to be heard, so that people would respect the power of black money, of the black pound, of the black dollar. Yet you want to sit there on your high horse and then try and cancel a company because of an interaction between a staff member and a customer. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not excusing that, that is bad, but let me tell you a quick story, yeah? I used to work for the company, the well-known company in the UK called Debenhams. I used to work on the phones, I used to do the beauty club card, like that was my stuff. If you have a beauty club card with Debenhams, I was the girl on the other end of the phone putting your points onto your card, bitch. I was that girl. Now, one time I had a customer who was losing her crap over some makeup that she couldn't get. I could get into the whole story, but it's a long thing. Anywho, one of my colleagues could literally hear this woman screeching into my headpiece, and she goes, what's going on? And I pressed the mute button, or what I thought was the mute button, and I said, I have this crazy bitch screaming at me on the phone. Anywho, I didn't press the mute button, don't know what button I pressed, but it wasn't the mute button. She heard me. Obviously, she made a complaint about me. When I tell you I had to sit into 3 disciplinary meetings, how I never lost my job, I will never know. But I had to sit into 3 disciplinary meetings with the big bosses, and I mean the big bosses of Debenhams, because I messed up. That wasn't Debenhams' fault. That was a customer service representative who messed up. I messed up. And yes, does that reflect badly on the brand? 100%. But we're not going to sit there and blame the CEO of Debenhams for what one person has done. And I'm sorry, with an account that has over 2 million people who follow it, do we really expect that it's Chi-Chi from Juvia's Place who's sitting there typing each individual person? No, she has people who do that work. In fact, let's just call it what it is, and I'm just going to speak the goddamn truth right now. In fact, it is a microaggression in of itself for you to suggest that the CEO of Juvia's Place doesn't have the ability to hire people in order to handle that kind of business. It is in of itself a microaggression at best. Why can't she have people that work for her? Can you answer me that, Sam? Anyway, I just have problems with this girl. She just talks and runs her mouth across the internet. And why Tasha K even gave her 2 cents on the whole entire thing. If you want to see that, I'll link that video down in the description box down below. But let's stop allowing this white woman to be the gatekeeper of black emotions. This woman literally harvests black anger like it's currency and then uses it against black people in order to take jobs away, in order to ruin careers, in order to destroy the things that black people are creating, that black people are making. And we're supporting that because we want to cancel somebody? How about, instead of cancel culture, I heard this the other day, how about we have accountability culture? Hold Chi-Chi accountable for the situation, but do not diminish or do not try and destroy what Chi-Chi has built because of the indiscretion of one individual that works for her team. Okay? Let's call that what it is, Samantha. God, that girl drives me insane. God damn. Anyway, that's all of the tea to do with that situation. Let's move on to the next piece of tea in the full cup. Woo! Oh, my damn nerves. Okay, so next up, we're going to be talking about the Ingham family, and most importantly, Chris Ingham's mother, Jane Ingham, and how she allegedly manipulated some young fans into doing the dirty work on behalf of the Ingham family. It is crazy, it is completely out of this world, but let's get straight into it. You guys will remember from the last Full Cup episode, I said, I know what you did, Chris, you little bitch. And a lot of people left a bunch of comments in the comment section saying, what did Chris do? I don't know who Chris is. Who's Chris? Well, if you haven't seen my video on the Ingham family, I will leave that in the description box down below, but here is a screen capture. I made an entire video about Chris Ingham and the allegations against him for being a child. But the Ingham family haven't just come under that kind of controversy. They even came into controversy again this year when they decided to make a human life doll replica of their son with all the atomical bits. And they were selling that, I think they were selling it for around £250 or close to £300 if I'm correct at the time. I think one of my researchers was working on that. I'm sure I've probably got an archive story on that. And basically a lot of people were like, okay, those real life dolls are you know, there's a community of people who like them. Karuna Satori frequently unboxes them on her second channel. So I know that there is definitely a community who enjoy that kind of thing, but I feel like it's a step too far to replicate your own child and then to sell it for profit. Like, they sold their child. They sold a naked baby version of their child. And then to top that off, just to make it even weirder, the people who bought that child, bearing in mind the price of it was like £250 to £300, the people who bought that child then ended up getting like some kind of free ticket to be able to finally sit down with the Ingham family and meet the child in question. If that doesn't sound like a mother ring to you, then I don't know what does. Like, that was the most messed up thing that I've ever heard in my entire life. All of it is alleged. I can't speak for its validity, but that was what the word on the street was, sis. They are trash. They are trash. And I live in the same areas though. If I see you in Leeds, sir, I swear down, I don't know if I will ever be able to control myself. I don't know. I'm at least gonna call you a out the car window. Like, I know girls from Batley, if you want to get personal, I know girls from Batley who have literally sat down and told me that you are the grossest man on this planet. There are stories that I could share, sir. There are stories that I could share, but I'm not gonna. But I know what you are, Chris. I know what the hell you are. I know what you did, Chris, you little bitch. Anyway, I digress. That's a whole other story. More recently, what's happened is Jane Ingham has found herself in a little bit of controversy. A young girl posted to social media, a young girl by the name of Charlie Dyball, who had basically come forward with her account of what happened when she was basically in cahoots with the Ingham family. Take a look at what it is that she had to say. Pause to read. It's really lengthy and I don't really want to like go in piece by piece. Well, it turns out that Jane Ingham, who is the mother of Chris Ingham, decided to speak her part on social media also. This is what she had to say. She said, I'm writing this to address the allegations made against me last night by Charlie Dyball on her social media, under the advice of the real Inghams. Firstly, I want to say that if I made Charlie feel uncomfortable in any way, I am bemused and truly sorry. We communicated with each other for a long time and there was never any hint from her of this. In fact, quite the opposite. I really am devastated and very confused as to why Charlie would feel that there was anything unsavory or abnormal in our chats ever. I in no way manipulated her nor offered her anything other than someone that she could chat to in good and in difficult times. We chatted on social media over a period of time in the same way that I chatted to many iFans, young and old, if they asked for help or my opinion. I really admired Charlie's Instagram account and that's why we started talking in the first place. Over a period of time, Charlie came to me for advice and we often chatted when she was feeling happy or down. At the time of her birthday, her friends came to me asking if I thought it would be a nice idea to get her a gift of an iFam hoodie since she wanted one badly and had not been able to afford one. I contacted her mum and asked if this would be okay as a surprise for Charlie, she said this was okay, so I ordered and paid for it and had it delivered to her home address. I am a 63-year-old woman with nothing at all to hide. All I've ever done is try to be a decent person and look out for the interests of my family, which I will continue to do so. I honestly have no idea why Charlie would feel like this, as she had an open and honest dialogue with me at all times. If I had made her feel uncomfortable in any way, I am truly, truly sorry, Jane. Since all of this has come out, there have been more and more things that have been coming out from the Ingham family, from this girl Charlie, etc, etc. And I just wanted to give my 2 cents on the whole entire situation. Well, basically, personally, regardless of how Jane feels in this situation, there is definitely an imbalance of power, and I feel like that is something that she at least needs to acknowledge, that this girl at some point felt very special because you had paid attention to her. She had that connection, that window, if you will, into the Ingham family, the family that resonated with her in such a huge way. So for me, it's just kind of like, well, what did you expect? You're giving things to them, you're buying them gifts, you're giving them hoodies and all of this kind of stuff. Like, of course she was going to sit there and do every little thing you asked her to do. So at the very least, it was an abuse of power. Do I think it's anywhere near the level of allegations that have come out from the Ingham family? Absolutely not, but it just goes to show that the Ingham family in general, be it Jane, Chris, Sarah, whoever, have absolutely no problems utilizing and using their fans for their own personal gain, and that is where I have a problem. There seems to be no morality within this family, and this goes to show that also not only do they use their fans in the regular sense, but they use their fans as a shield to hide behind and get them to do the work. But anyway, that's my whole 2 cents on the whole entire story. I have a plethora of receipts and information. If you guys want an in-depth video on the Ingham family and more updates to do with how terribly shocking these people are, I can do that for you. Just leave me a comment in the comment section down below and I'll see if I can get straight onto it, because this goes so deep and it spans so far, and I just can't even begin to touch on the amount of information there is out there about the Ingham family. Anyway, that's about it for this story, so let's move on to the final story, Lilly Singh. Okay, so you all know who Lilly Singh is. I Superwoman I, one of the biggest channels on YouTube and possibly one of the longest running. Like, she is an OG of YouTube. She is an OG. It is no secret that Lilly Singh has done remarkable things with her YouTube platform and created a massive career for herself, from being invited to the Met Gala, for hosting various different red carpets. She's been able to transition so beautifully from YouTube into mainstream media, which is extremely difficult to do, especially as a quote-unquote comedy girl. Now, whilst I've never really enjoyed Lilly Singh's content for myself, it's a bit immature for my liking. I've got a different kind of humor. She has a fan base that loves her dearly. However, Lilly Singh has a real issue when it comes to accepting or dealing with criticism. One thing that I remember was, I think it was last year, Angelica Oles had this series on her channel which was The Road to Irrelevancy, and one of her most popular videos was one to do with Lilly Singh and how Lilly Singh's channel is pretty much non-existent and is not pulling in the same numbers that it used to. But it's because, in part, due to Lilly Singh just being in various different places, like she's got her fingers in so many different pies at the moment, that it would be hard to consistently upload to her YouTube channel in the same way that she did previously. However, when this video came out, she seemed to take a massive jab at Angelica Oles in a vlog video. She just didn't really seem to take the criticism very well at all. Then we have the whole situation with the Forbes list, where she was on the Forbes list one year and then the following year she wasn't on the Forbes list, which is, you know, the 30 under 30 list of people that should be looked out for, whatever, or millionaires, I don't know. Nobody cares about these lists. These lists have been formulated by white men in suits. Like, who gives a crap about the Forbes list? Like, it's not... Like, okay, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's an achievement in of itself to be mentioned on Forbes, but at the same time, it's like that list really accumulates to nothing. Like, okay, so you were mentioned on a list, like, okay. And basically she equated it to being misogynistic and that, you know, women in the industry aren't getting the same accolade as men, when in reality, they were just looking at numbers and figures, and unfortunately that year, Lilly just didn't make the cut. And because she made the cut previous years, I think people were equating that to the notion that Lilly didn't like the fact that she wasn't included on the Forbes list, when Lilly has achieved so much already, like, the list. And she received criticism over that. She didn't receive that very well and continued to fight that battle on social media also. And now more recently, Lilly Singh has been given her own late night talk show, like the ones that you see Jimmy Kimmel and all that kind of stuff. A huge monumental moment for all of YouTube. And I kind of feel like even if we don't like Lilly Singh, everybody collectively was proud of her because this was a huge step. This was mainstream media finally accepting and realizing that there are viable acts, there are viable comedians, there are viable influencers, there are viable celebrities, D-list if you will, but celebrities nonetheless who live on YouTube and who do extremely well. She was being validated in a way that every YouTuber eventually wants to be validated for, which is you're good enough for everybody to see, not just segregated onto the internet. Because some channels be bringing in more views than your favorite TV show, sis, and that's honestly like, that's coin, bitch, that's money. Money! Anyway, so this whole situation is just, it's incredibly sad because her late night TV show hasn't been received very well, and in part, I personally think, due to the clips that I've seen, I've not seen a full episode, full disclosure, but due to the clips that I've seen is in part to her alienating her audience. A lot of her jokes are to do with being a woman, her female genitalia, being a woman of colour, being a woman of colour in the workplace, and how white people are so terrible and bad. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with playing the obvious jokes. Like sometimes I'll play the black card jokes every once in a while, but it's just kind of like if that's the entirety of your entire content, if that's the laughing, the punchline to everything that you do, it gets bored very, very fast. Anyway, a YouTuber and a colleague that I respect so much by the name of Jay Aubrey made a video about this. I will definitely link that in the description box down below. And it seems to me as if Lilly Singh got in her feelings once again because the woman is unable to accept criticism of any level. Any criticism that has been made, any critiques that have been made about Lilly Singh is just simply everybody hating on her and nobody wanting her to succeed and win. When I think that that's not the case, I think everybody in this instance, regardless of whether you liked Lilly Singh or not, we all wanted you to win, sis. We just want you to do better because when you do better, it reflects good on all of us. Anyway, this was her indirect response to the critique on social media. This is what she had to say. Imagine making a living by posting meme videos to YouTube, the downward spiral, the bad energy, the karma, the entitlement, the lack of creativity, the waste of potential. Young kids, don't follow this example. It's not good for your soul or the longevity of your career. So basically, as per usual, the commentary community are regarded as the scum of the universe and that sharing an opinion on the internet is the worst thing that a person could ever do ever. So she's able to share her socio-political views about the Forbes list, but if anyone was to say anything about her and her content, then all of a sudden we're bad people. I just really don't get that mentality. Like everybody has an opinion. Just because I'm vocal about it and I make videos about it doesn't make me inherently a bad person or trying to put negativity into the universe, because the same could be said about her speaking about the Forbes list, that she's putting negativity into the universe. The same could be said about her socio-political views and jokes that she inserts into her comedy routines on her late night show. Basically, she's sharing her personal thoughts and opinions on the world publicly, but because she does it in a different manner through comedy, it's okay. Like, I don't understand where that narrative like, where's the line? What's going on, sis? Anyway, the comedy on the show for me is just bad. It's like so bad. It's not good. It's not good. It's not my kind of thing, but at the end of the day, I've never really enjoyed Lilly's content like that. So that's just not, I'm not her audience. And maybe that's what it is. But publicly, it's not been held in great regard either, because a lot of the reviews online is also just bad. At some point, if the commentators are saying that this is bad and the general public is saying that this is bad, then you need to acknowledge somewhere that it's not just one person being mean and making a critique and trying to stifle you and the longevity of your own career. At some point, you need to acknowledge that this is, unfortunately, the general consensus at this moment in time. But that's just my 2 cents. Anyway, tell me what it is that you guys think in the comment section down below. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope that this recording situation actually worked. Don't forget to make sure that you leave me all of your flavor ideas for some really cute herbal teas that I can add to my collection, because I'd really love to do that for you guys. Because I know what my tastes are, but I don't know what other people's tastes are. And hopefully when this comes out, you'll support it. I want you guys to support it. I'll be sending out PR. Look at me, I'm like a little beauty guru. I'll be sending out PR and all of that jazz, sis. And just so you know, this is a Black-owned brand too, if the tea's gonna come for it. But it's a Black-owned brand too, so support our ethnic brands out here trying to do the do. And support your ethnic person trying to do the do too. Anyway, that is about it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like it, if you don't, I don't give a shit anyway. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification with the bell so that you guys get a notification every single time the Petty Paige posts new content. Right, hopefully this worked. I'm gonna try and edit this. Wish me luck. Bye guys.